Hey everybody, John Foss. I'm talking with Mark Cousins and Alicia Malone. We're talking about the new docuseries Women Make Film, which is going to air every Tuesday night from now until December 1st on TCM. Mark, you are the director. Tell us about this docuseries.
It's massive. It's a love letter to cinema, John. It's a mere 14 hours long, and it covers 44 countries, 180 films, and 12 decades. And the key thing is, it's all about the films directed by women around the world.
And Alicia, how did you get involved?
Yeah, well, I'm excited because I'm a host on Turner Classic Movies TCM, and they decided to program the docu-series and also create a whole series of 14 weeks. We're showing 100 different films around the docu-series. So each week we'll have an hour from Mark's documentary, and then we'll watch several films which are related to the themes that he explores in the documentary. And for me, I'm someone who's been passionate about women directors and about celebrating the great work that we have and have always had made by women. So this is thrilling to get to show all these films, some that people may know and some that people will never have heard of before.
All right, well, you guys are the definition of cinephiles. So I want to ask, what was it that made you become who you are today? Was there a film, was there one movie growing up where you were like, I want to do this the rest of my life, I want to work in film?
For me, it was Herbie Rides Again, a Disney movie.
Really?
I saw when I was about this height, and I just thought, what, cars can fly? And I could not believe it. I was sitting in Belfast, which was not the cinematic center of the universe in Ireland, and I thought, wow, I need to get close to that.
Mine was Rear Window. Yeah, mine was Rear Window by Alfred Hitchcock because my dad is a huge film buff. And I remember when I was very young, probably way too young to watch that film, he dragged me out of bed and sat me down in front of the television and said, "This is Alfred Hitchcock, and have a look at how he does all these shots." And he explained to me what he was doing behind the camera. And at such an early age, it started to engender the idea that there was someone creating films. I was fascinated by that.
Okay, well, one thing that I think you guys have in common here is that you were both big fans of Orson Welles. Mark, for example, you were a director of the film The Eyes of Orson Welles. And Alicia, I've heard you mention that in the past, like as a kid, you did screenings of Citizen Kane. So tell me, what is it about Orson Welles that you love so much?
Orson Welles was hugely important to me. When I was a boy, I wasn't very good at literature, but I saw his film Touch of Evil on TV, and I thought that he's speaking a language that I can understand. So when I first went to Los Angeles, I went to Venice, California, and I walked the bit of Venice where he did a very famous shot in Touch of Evil. So it was a formative film for me, and Orson Welles was a formative person for me.
Yeah, same for me. I watched Citizen Kane when I was a teenager, and just to get to dig into all of the shots that he did and learn more about the filmmaking techniques that he pioneered at that time, I was fascinated by that. And then I tried to start a film club in my high school and show people Citizen Kane. No one came to my screenings, but I tried.
You guys have probably done more research in this field than anybody else. So tell me, what is your favorite female-directed film?
Alicia, what do you think?
Oh, well, one of my favorites, one that I think everyone should see, is Daughters of the Dust by Julie Dash. And this film has been hugely influential. You see the influence on Beyonce during her visual album Lemonade. It referenced a lot of that film. It's a gorgeous tone poem of a movie, and it didn't get as wide and as big as it should have. But Julie Dash is a filmmaker who hasn't had much opportunity outside of television since she made that film, but someone that should be celebrated.
I love that film. For me, it would probably be, there's a film called The Ascent by Larisa Shepitko, who was a Russian director who died tragically young. What I love about it is that it's one of the greatest war movies ever made. And people say women direct films about children or relationships. The best war movie ever made was directed by a woman, a masterpiece.
What is the solution to getting more women involved in making films?
Well, I think it's a misnomer that there's not many female directors working or not many female directors who are talented. That's not true. They just have a lack of opportunity within the Hollywood studio system. But that's something that's so fantastic about Mark's documentary and about our series on TCM is it shows you how many female filmmakers have been making all kinds of films since the very beginning of cinema. And when you start to see that, you start to change your idea of what a director looks like. And I think that's really important when it comes to changing inequality behind the scenes, is changing people's perspective of what a female filmmaker can do.
I could hardly add anything to that. Hardly anything. It's so beautifully put. I think that, we are standing on the shoulders of giants here. Some of the people who formed the medium of cinema, this great entertainment art form that we love, were women. And so the more we watch, the more we realize that it's female as much as male, and that will inspire new generations of filmmakers.
All right. Well, Mark Cousins, Alicia Malone, thank you guys so much for being with us. Twin Cities, make sure you check out this new docuseries. It is called Women Make Film. It's going to be airing every Tuesday night from now until December 1st on TCM. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.